Hello students, in this video we will be discussing about one of the important concept of economics, that is market and market structures. So after producing the products or services in business, producer should sell their products or services in some place in order to exchange their products or services with the buyers, in order to transfer the ownership from their finished products to the buyers. So the place where the producers will sell, the producers will transfer the ownership of the finished goods is known as market. So here, after completion of the production process, producer should sell or transfer the products and services to other persons or the buyers in the market or in another place. The place where the seller can sell their products is known as a market. In general, we have an idea about the market, right? What is market? The place where the buyer and seller meet together and exchange their products and services in order to get a mutual benefit. So what is the purpose of exchanging products and services together? Here they will exchange their products and services together in order to get the mutual benefit. This is one of the feature of market. So here market is a place where the buyer and seller meet together and exchange their products and services together in order to get the mutual benefit is known as a market. So let us see the simple definition for the market given by the different experts. According to the Philip Kotler, who is also called as father of marketing, market is defined as it is area or atmosphere of potential exchange is known as market. According to Philip Kotler, market is an area or atmosphere or environment of potential exchange. See, this is very important feature of market, exchange. Exchange means here both the parties should transfer the products and services, money or money's worth is known as exchange. So here in this case, at this atmosphere or at this area, there should be a potential exchange between the parties. Here these parties are known as buyer and seller in the area or the atmosphere. That is called as a market. And another professor has given the definition for the market. He is called as a Professor Mitchell. Given the definition for the market, it is not a geographical area or geographical meeting place, but as any getting together of buyers and sellers in personal, by mail, by telephone, by telegraph, and also through internet or any other means of communication. This is a very important definition. According to the professor Philip Kotler, who is father of marketing, given the definition, that is an area or the atmosphere of potential exchange is known as marketing or the market. Here, according to Mitchell, as per the present scenario or the current situations, current technology and current communication developments, here according to this person, that is Professor Mitchell, it is not a geographical area. It is not a geographical area. According to Philip Kotler, the place where the buyer and seller or where there is a potential exchange between the two parties called as marketing. It is a particular area or atmosphere according to Philip Kotler. But whereas Professor Mitchell, according to this person or this professor, it is not a geographical area. Here need not to be a geographical area or a particular place, but as any getting together of buyers and sellers. There should be two parties who is called buyer and seller. They are the two parties must be there. Only the seller cannot be say as market, only the buyer we cannot say it as market. So both the parties should come together, meet together in a personal. Here these two people meet together at one place in order to exchange, or by mail. So here they may also transfer through mail, through internet by using the mail, or telephone by using the telephone also. Here they will do some market, and also the telegraph and internet or any other means of communication, whatever the communication they are using, whatever the channel they are using. But here there should be two persons, and there should be exchange between the two parties. That is known as market. That is known as market. It is not exactly the place or atmosphere, but they may conduct this exchange process, exchange transaction in personal, by mail, by telegraph, by telephone, or internet, or any other communication that they may use in order to exchange the products or services together in order to get the mutual benefit. The purpose of exchanging these products and services between the parties is to get the mutual benefit. There should be a mutual benefit for the two people. Who is called two people? That is a buyer and a seller. Buyer and seller. Who is buyer? The person who is buying or purchasing the products in the market, where the seller is the person who is selling the products or services to the buyer. So what is the benefit to the buyer? Here the benefit to the buyer is satisfaction. By purchasing and consuming the products and services from the seller, he may get some satisfaction in terms of consuming and in terms of price that they have incurred on purchasing the products and any other areas. So here the purpose of the benefit of the buyer is satisfaction, whereas the benefit to the seller is profit. So this is the profit. Here respect to the seller, benefit means the profit. Respect to the buyer, benefit means the satisfaction. So here why we are conducting this transaction or exchanging the products and services in terms of money or money's worth, means to get the mutual benefit for the two parties, that is seller as well as the buyer. Buyer is a person who is buying the products from the seller. Seller is a person who is selling the products to the buyer. Here after getting the mutual benefit, then they will continue the same transactions in the future. If he is not satisfying with the purchasing the products, or he is not generating the profits after selling the products, then these transactions may not be continued in the future. So here market is a place where the buyer and seller both together meeting and exchanging their products and services in order to get the mutual benefit. Or at present scenario need not to meet together at one place. Here also we are doing transactions or the marketing through online. For example, there are various agencies that they are playing their role as mediators between the seller as well as the buyer, like Amazon. Amazon is a channel between the seller and the buyer. Buyer will order the products in Amazon, and Amazon will purchase the products from the seller in order to transfer to the buyer. Or here Amazon is a mediator or the channel of distribution the products from the producer. He is also called as producer to the buyer. Amazon is only the channel or the distribution channel which is playing a significant role in transferring the products from the seller to the buyer. Here he will not take any responsibility. He will not take any responsibility in terms of terms and conditions of the product, quality of the product, quantity of the product, whatever it is. But here these people will play certain roles in online marketing, online business. So buyer will order the products through Amazon, and the seller can sell the products to the buyer through Amazon. So this is only the agency which will bridge the gap between buyer and seller, which will play a significant role between the seller and the buyer. Like that, there is a one more channel, that is Flipkart. Flipkart is also one of the distribution channel or else the online marketing place where the buyer can order through Flipkart and the seller can sell the products through Flipkart to the buyer. Buyer can order the products at the seller through Flipkart, and the seller can sell the products through Flipkart to the buyer. So here this is also one type of marketing. In this case, this is called online marketing. Online marketing, where we are using the internet. According to Mitchell, here internet also one of the channel, one of the place where the buyer and seller can exchange their products and services. Buyer and seller can exchange their products and services. Nowadays, at present scenario, as the technology has been increasing drastically, here most of the people 70 to 80% of the people in the society are using this channel only, that is online marketing, due to their busy schedule, due to lack of time, due to many reasons. These people are using the online marketing channels in order to purchase the products by the buyer as well as sell the products by the seller. So it is not exactly the place, or it is also maybe the internet or the telephone or mail or internet or any communication channel that will gives the mutual benefit to both the parties, that is buyer and seller. This is called a market. So what is market? Simply we can say either it is a place or means of communication which will give the satisfaction both the parties, buyer and seller, where the potential exchange conducted between the both the parties, that is known as a market. So this is about the simple introduction of about the market. Now let us see what are the features of market. So as per the definitions given by the different experts, different professors, we will find different features for the market. That is presence of buyers and sellers. Here features of market. So let us see the different features of market. So what are they? The first one is presence of parties. So here presence of parties is the first and foremost important feature of any market. So who are the parties here in any market? The most important parties are there should be a seller and a buyer. There should be a seller and a buyer. These two are the parties of a market. Without any one of these two parties, we cannot say that is as market. If there is no seller, with only the buyer, we cannot say that is as market. Or if only the seller without buyer, we cannot say that is as market. If you want to say that is as market, there should be a presence of both the parties, that is a buyer and a seller. So there are two sides in the market for the good, that is the buyer side as well as the seller side. The transactions are conducted between the buyers and sellers in the market. If you are not if you are not conducting the transaction between these two people, we cannot say that is as marketing. What is the purpose of seller? The seller should sell the goods or services, and the buyer should buy the goods or services. So sellers can sell the products in the market and buyers can buy the products from the sellers. So if there is no buyer or the seller in the place at the time of exchanging, we cannot say that is as market. There should be a presence of both the parties, that is a buyer and a seller. And the second one is communication between two parties. So this is also one of the most important. So the development of communication system between the buyers and sellers is a precondition for the market relation to growth between them. So we have to use any one of communication channel in order to conduct the business, either personal or the mail or the telegraph or the telephone or the internet or whatever the channel it is. There should be a communication between both the parties, that is a buyer and seller. So the buyer and seller may meet face to face at a particular place, or they may communication between them through the modern technology or the modern telecommunication system, or by using any of these, any means of communication. They should communicate how many products, how many number of units they are selling, how many products are the buyers buying. For example, here there is a buyer in the market and there is a seller in the same market, but these people are not these people are not meeting together directly or personally, but they are using one channel that is called as Amazon or Flipkart or others. So any channel, whatever the channel it is, they are using this channel in order to communicate. So for example, he is a seller in the market, he is a buyer in the market, right? Here if you want to get certain products, for example, buyer want to purchase one mobile. So this order will be giving through Amazon. So Amazon is a channel. Amazon is a channel to give an order for mobile at the seller, and the seller will send the mobile. The seller will send the mobile through Amazon to the buyer. So here these people are not meeting together personally. These people are not exchanging personally the amount. Here we are paying to Amazon, Amazon paying to the seller. See, Amazon is only the channel between the buyer and seller. For providing this service, you may get some benefit from the seller. So communication between the two parties must be there. Here, without giving orders, seller may not send the products. Without sending the amount, here this buyer may not send the worth of the product, that is money. Of course, there may be many options. Here After delivering the products, the amount may be paid. So before delivering the amount, before delivering the products, the amount may be paid. So based on the nature of the product, based on the terms and conditions of this seller, the payment transactions may be conducted by the two parties. So here communication should be there between the two parties in order to say there is a exchange of products and services in the market. If there is no communication between the two parties, that is buyer and seller, we cannot say that is as market. Then the next one is price determination. Yes, price determination. So price determination through the interactions between the demand and supply and the price rule. The price of the product can be determined by the seller by using the price rule and the demand and supply in the market. So in the market, for a good or a factor, the buyer and sellers remain aware of prevailing conditions in the market as they all behave as economic beings. So if the person wanted to purchase the product, he must aware about the price that the seller is charging. As well, here the seller also need to fix the price on the product based on the demand in the market. So both the parties, that is buyer as well as the seller, should aware about the market conditions. Based on the demand of their product, the seller should sell the products by fixing certain suitable price. As well, based on the supply in the market, the buyers can buy the product at a reasonable price based on his income level. So here the price determination is also one of the important feature of market. These markets are used to determine the price. These two parties, that is buyer and seller, should know about the price of the product in the market. Next, the next one is product differentiation. Product differentiation. Yes. So this is also very important feature of market. So product differentiation means different products for the different price to the different customers. So selling the product to the different customers at different prices to the different products in the market. So that is also the feature. Based on this feature, the market structures or the markets are dividing into different forms, that is perfect competition market and imperfect competition market. So product differentiation is based on the income group, geographical area, or the competition, or that based on the time period, based on the legality, based on the amount quantity of output is available. So based on all these factors, the products may be differentiate from one customer to another customer. It is not a rule that the same product will be sold to all the customers. So that is based on the structure of the market, form of the market. In case of monopoly competition market, the price of the products may differentiate from one customer to another customer. But whereas in case of perfect competition market, you have to, that is seller has to sell the same product for all the customers irrespective of income group, irrespective of purchasing power and any other factors. So product differentiation is also one of the most important feature that will decide the market, whether it is perfect competition market or the imperfect competition market. The next one is extent of a market. Extent of a market. Yes. This is also one of the important feature of market. By the extent of the market of a good, we mean that expansion of the demand for the good, which is the same thing as the expense of its sale. So here, based on the expansion of the market, based on the demand of the product, based on the supply of the product and the goodwill of the seller, we need to expand the market. Based on the expansion, we may differentiate the market into the local market, domestic market, national market, international market, and so on. So extent of a market is also one of the feature that can be used to divide or differentiate from one form of market to another form of market. The firm for a good may or may not be geographically well spread, but if the quantity sold, if the fairly is large, then we may say that the market is well extended. If you are selling more and more products, quantity in large, then we can say that there is an extension of the market. If we are not able to sell the large products in the market, we can say that there is no extension. So always the sellers or the producers will try to extend the market in the society. Next, customer focus. Yes, customer focus. See, customer is the ultimate decision maker for anything. In general, we can say customer is an ultimate decision maker for anything at the time of fixing the price of the product, at the time of fixing the quality of the product, or any feature of the product. See, we need to produce the product with all these features only based on the perception of the customer or the buyer. So here in market, the customer focus is very important. So marketing function of a business is customer centered. It makes an attempt to study the customer needs, customers' goods and services requirements, their perceptions, their quality requirements, their purchasing power, their income level, and everything will be collected from the customer. Accordingly, we need to sell the product in the market. If you are producing the product and selling the same product in the market against to these customers' needs, requirements, taste and preferences and all, there is no demand for the product. Therefore, if you want to get any demand for your product in the market, we need to produce the product and sell the same products in the market according to the perception, needs, requirements and all the taste and preferences and all the factors of the customers only. That is why we are saying customer is an ultimate decision maker. That is why here in Philip Kotler's book said that here the marketing starts with the customer. Marketing start with customer and also end with the customer. Marketing start with customer and end with customer. Why he said that means, before producing the products, marketing department has to conduct one survey in the market at the customer about the perception, requirements, quality, quantity, income level, purchasing power, everything. So after conducting the survey, they will analyze, accordingly they will produce in the business and the same product will come to the market. As and when the features, price, quality, quantity, everything is matching with the customer's perceptions, that is quality, quantity and all other factors, requirements, then only we can say that there is a demand for the product. So market is always need to focus on the customers but not the sellers or the competitors. So the next one is customer satisfaction. Yes, customer satisfaction is very, very important. Customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is very important. As I said just now, that is, there is a mutual benefit in the market after exchanging the products and services. Here, who are the parties in the market? There are two parties, as I said, that is a seller and buyer, right? Seller and a buyer. These two are the two parties. So what is the satisfaction of the seller? If he realized or generated any profits after selling the products, this is the seller's satisfaction. What is the satisfaction respect to the buyer? That is satisfaction after consuming after consuming products after consuming products means if the products and services that he has purchased or brought from the seller meet meet the customers or the buyers price expectations, quality expectations, like consumption satisfaction expectations and other features, then we can say that buyer also satisfied. So respect to the seller profits, respect to the buyer satisfaction after consuming the product. So here every seller must be focused on the customer satisfaction. Unless satisfying the customer, we will not survive in the market for a long period. A customer expects some services or the benefits from the products for which payment is made. Here he is paying, for example, here buyer is paying 100 rupees for product X. Product X means here the X should give the satisfaction worth of 100 rupees. If the product X is not satisfying the customer's worth of 100 rupees, again he may not purchase or he may not go for the same product. So if you want to continue use the same product in the market for a long period, here the product must satisfy worth of 100 rupees because he is paying 100 rupees for the purchasing product. Here if this benefit is more than the amount paid, then the customer is satisfied, and vice versa. If this benefit is more, here the benefit that is he is getting from the product is more than 100 rupees or at least equal to 100 rupees, then he will satisfy. Otherwise he will not satisfy with the product, then automatically he will not purchase the same product in the future again in the market. So in the long run, customer satisfaction helps to the retain market demand. It helps to achieve the organizational objectives. So if you are able to satisfy this customer that is worth of 100 rupees, in long run the same product will retain in the market, the same business will retain in the market. Accordingly the objective of the business will be achieved. This is the most important feature of market. If you are not satisfying the customers in the market with the products that we are producing and selling in the market, we may not survive in the market for a long period. Then the next one is objective oriented. The next objective of feature of market is objective oriented. Right. Here there are two types of objectives for both the parties, that is seller. The respect to the seller, what is the objective of the seller? Get the more demand from the market, get the more market in the market, more share in the market, provide the more satisfaction to the customers. So they are the objectives towards respect to the seller. Whereas the buyer's point of view or the respect to the buyer, what are the objectives? Here getting the satisfaction equal or more than equal to the amount that he is paying for the product. These two are the objectives of the customers as well as the sellers. So here this also will be found in the market. So all marketing activities are the objective oriented. Whatever the activity that is they are conducting in the market, so everything will be comes under the objective oriented only. So the different objectives are fixed at different levels, but the main objective to respect to the seller is a profit from the business along with the satisfaction of human wants. So what is the object of the seller? Here he should generate the profits by selling the product in the market along with satisfying the human wants. Human wants means buyers or the purchasers wants. Unless you are satisfying the buyers are the purchasers satisfaction levels not meeting that satisfaction levels, then you may not survive. Your product may not retain in the market. Automatically you need to be take the certain drastic decisions in the business about your product, how to survive in the market. So objective oriented is also one of the feature of market. The next one is marketing is both art and science. Yes, marketing is both art and science. It is market or the marketing is both art and science. So art refers to the specific skills that is required in marketing activities of any type of business. If you want to do any marketing, if you want to sell your product to the customer, you must have certain skills, that is art. That is why here any business, whether it is a local business or international business, whatever the business it is, or local market or international market, right, here the skilled people are required in marketing department. If you are not procuring, if you are not recruiting the skilled people for the business, for the marketing, you may not sell the products in the market. The skill is playing a very significant role in market or marketing. Whereas coming to the science, that is what art means. The skill is required to marketing, the skill is required to sell the products in the market. Whereas the science refers to a systematic body of knowledge based on the facts and the principles. So we have to follow certain rules, certain principles, certain conditions in order to conduct the exchange of goods, in order to conduct the transactions. Here the science refers to how to follow the systematic body of knowledge based on the facts and the principles. Facts means we have to collect the information by conducting survey in the market. Accordingly, we require to apply certain rules and certain principles and techniques to analyze the data in order to implement in practice in systematically. So here marketing department can work systematically in order to increase the demand for the product. So the concept of marketing includes a bunch of social sciences such as economics, sociology, psychology and law. Here the psychology means the marketing department should understand the psychology of the customer, read the psychology of the customer, study the psychology of the customer. And it is also related to sociology, means all the marketing transactions must be conducted in the society only. And economics means it relates to the monetary terms. So this is also, we can say that marketing is both art and science. It is also one of the feature of marketing. And continuous and regular activities, continuous and regular activities. So in the market we have to conduct continuous and regular activities respect to exchange of goods and services. So marketing is an activity designed to plan, price, promote and distribute the products to the customers or the buyers. At the same time, it also addresses both the current and future consumers. Thus it is a continuous process. If you are selling the product and forgetting about the customer satisfaction and the customer service, your product may not retain in the market for a long period. Once you sold the product to the customers, means you have to follow up the satisfaction levels of the customers, whether they are satisfying with the purchased product or not, or sold products or not by the seller. So once you have sold to the customer, you have to be take some like activities. You have to take up some activities like conducting the survey at the customers or the buyers in the market, whether they are satisfying with your products or services after purchasing, whether they are satisfying or not. And also the regular activities, it will not stop at one activity. It has to be continued for a long period, otherwise we cannot survive in the market. for a long period. This is also one of the important feature of market. The next one is exchange process. Exchange process. Yes, here there should be a potential exchange between the buyer and seller. So marketing involves exchange of goods, services, ideas with the medium of money or money's worth. So in the traditional, in olden days, at the time of conducting the transaction with the barter system, here the seller can sell the products with the buyers to the buyers, and buyers can also exchange worth of goods to the seller, because there is no currency. When there is no currency in the system, then they have exchanged goods with goods. That system is called as barter system. But now at this present scenario, we are using currency in terms of money, right? In the terms of rupees, in terms of money. Now exchange process is consist of goods with money, or goods for money, services for money. So here there should be an exchange between the buyer and the seller. Buyer can sell the products or services to the customer or the buyer, and buyer can transfer the money or money's worth to the seller. So mostly the buyers can transfer the money to the seller worth of the goods and services that he is purchasing from the seller. So there should be a potential exchange between the buyer and the seller. It means that there is an exchange process between the buyer and seller. Whether it is online payment or offline payment, whatever the payment it is, there should be a process. Here transferring the goods also, online transferring goods or offline transferring goods, whatever, there should be a potential goods. This is also very important feature of market. If there is no potential exchange between the parties, we cannot say that is as a market. So most of the marketing activities are concerned with the exchange of goods and services. Functions such as distribution, after sales, service and packaging help in exchange process. Next, marketing environment. So this is also one of the feature of market, that is marketing environment. Marketing environment. So economic policies, market conditions and environmental factors like political, technological, demographic and international, all these factors may influence the marketing activities. So based on all these factors, the business should conduct the marketing activities, has to follow the government policies, the technology that is available, the political factors and all the economic, all the environment, all the like marketing factors which creates the environment called a market. So marketing activities are inseparable from such environment factors. If we are not following all these factors, we cannot say that is as marketing. The next one is marketing mix. Marketing mix. This is also one of the important feature of a market. If you want to say that is as market, there should be a marketing mix. A combination of 4 inputs constitutes the core of the company's marketing system, that is product, price, place and promotion. We can say in marketing as 4 P's. 4 P's, that is as product, price, place and promotion. So here we have to use these 4 P's in order to produce the potential goods to the potential buyers, in order to conduct the potential exchanges in the market. So marketing mix is a flexible combination of these 4 variables, that is product, price, place and promotion. So they are influenced by the customer behavior, trade factors, competition and the government regularity measures. So every business who wants to conduct these transactions in the market must understand these 4 P's in the market, such as, what are they? Such as product, after producing the product, price, should be fixed, suitable price should be fixed. After fixing the price, we should place the product at a suitable price, and also we need to conduct promotional activities in the market. See, all these four factors are very very important in marketing. If you ignore any one of these factors or P's, you may not retain in the market for a long period. Each and every P in marketing mix is very important. So we have to produce the qualitative products, and you have to fix the suitable price according to the income level of the customer or purchasing power. Place, you have to place the product at a suitable place. Here the products are required at Hyderabad. If you place the product in somewhere in Warangal or somewhere Vijayawada or Delhi, there is no demand for the product. So the place estimating, identifying, recognizing the place also very important to sell your product. And promotion, without promotion there is no market. So first you have to create awareness in the market about your product and the customer. Without creating awareness about your product in the market, without creating the awareness with the customers about your product, about the product quality, quantity, price and other features, you may not sell your product in the market, because nobody knows about your product. Even you have produced qualitative products, fixed less price, and you placed the suitable place, but there is no awareness about your product with the customer, at the customer. Therefore, there is no demand for your product. Here, if you want to get the demand for your product, you must have to focus on promotion, that is advertisement. So advertisement is a factor that will place a very significant role in creating awareness as well as increasing the demand for the product. So this is why the reason the most of the companies, most of the multinational companies here investing more than 50% of their funds on the promotion or advertising. Without advertising, without promotion, there is no demand for your product. You may use different channels, that is electronic media, paper media, social media, internet, whatever, but you have to create some awareness, that is called promotion. So product mix is a very very important feature for the market. So production activities are adapted these consumer needs, and the marketing proceeds production. So marketing helps in the distribution of the goods which follows the production. Hence, production and marketing activities are closely related to each other. So they are the different features. They are the different features of the product which comes under the marketing mix. Here the 4 P's are very famous. 4 P's are very famous word in marketing, which the producers should take seriously in order to implement in practice. So my dear students, all these are very important features of market, like presence of parties, communication between two parties, price determination, product differentiation, extent of market, customer focus, customer satisfaction, objective oriented. Marketing is both art and science. Continuous and regular activities, exchange process, marketing environment, and marketing mix. They are the some of the important features of market, right? Think about the factors affecting the market structure. Here, market is a place where the buyer and seller meet together in order to exchange the potential products or services in order to get the mutual benefit. Or market is a place or area or channel where the buyer and seller exchanging their potential products and services is also a market. So here it is not only a place or the geographical area, but the products and services may also exchange through online. It may be the internet or telephone or telegraph or personal, whatever the communication channel, potential communication channel, which will used by the buyer and seller in order to exchange their products and services is also a market. Now the market structure. What is market structure? So market structure is the various features. Here market structures can be understood by using the various features of that particular market, or the features of the market can decide the market structure. So now we will see the different factors governing the market structures. So here we can also say that factors governing market structure. Factors governing market structure. There are different factors that are decided the market structure. There are different factors that are used to decide the market structure. Now let us see one by one what are they. The first one is the degree of sellers and buyers. The degree of sellers concentration as well buyers concentration. So degree of seller concentration. Degree of seller concentration. So this refers to the number of sellers and their market share for a given product or the service in the market. Here, how many number of sellers are there in the market? Whether there is one seller or few sellers or large number of sellers. So based on the size of number of sellers, also we can decide the type of market structure, where it may be one seller, few sellers or more sellers. Here one seller, few sellers or more sellers. So based on the degree of sellers concentration, we can decide the type of structure, the market structure. We can decide that whether it is a perfect competition market or imperfect competition market based on this degree. One seller or few seller or more sellers are there in the market in order to sell their products or services in the market. The second factor that is deciding the market structure is buyer's concentration. It is sellers, buyer's concentration. Yes, buyers also can decide the market structure. Here we should have two parties in the market, that is both the buyer and seller. If there is no buyer, only with the seller we cannot say that is as market, or another side only buyers, there is no seller, we cannot say that is as market. So if we want to say there is a transaction in the market, we must have two parties, both the parties, that is both the sellers and the buyers. So here degree of buyers concentration also can decide the type of market structure. This refers to the number of buyers and their extent of purchases of a given product or service. So here one buyer, few buyers, more buyers. So buyers concentration is also one of the factor that governs the type of structure. So what is the purchasing power of this buyer? What is the purchasing power of the buyers in the market, and their extent of purchase of goods and services at a given price in the market. This is also very important factor that decides the market structure. And the third one is the degree of product differentiation. Yes, so degree of product differentiation. Product differentiation is also one of the important factor which decide the market structure. So here, if you are producing the different products for the different customers for different prices at the same market, in the same market, so we can decide that market into different types. This refers to, that is, degree of differentiation of the degree of product differentiation. Sorry, degree of product differentiation. Product differentiation refers to the extent by which the product of each trader is differentiated from that of the others. How the trader or the seller is differentiating the products from one uh, buyer to another buyer in terms of prices, in terms of features of the products, in terms of quality, in terms of any other factor. So this is also one of the factor which governs the market structure. So product differentiation can take the several forms like varieties, brands, quality, quantity, all of which are sufficiently similar to that distinguish them as group from other products. Example, cars. Example, cars. So the different customers will expect different features of the cars. So based on the specifications, based on the requirements, based on the taste and preferences of the customers, the seller can produce the products in terms of colors, in terms of mileage, in terms of design, in terms of other settings in the within the car, seating settings. So based on these, the seller can produce the different products accordingly satisfy the customers in the market. That is also one of the important factor which decide the market structure. And the very important factor that is deciding the market structure is entry and exit from the market. Conditions for entry and exit from the market. See, there are various conditions. There are various conditions to entry and exit from the market for the different markets. More often, there could be certain restrictions to enter and exit from the market generally. So here, if it is international market or some national markets, we need to fill different formalities. It is not that much easy to enter into the such markets. So here, to enter into the market, we require to fulfill different formalities. It is very difficult to enter into the international market or the national market, unlike local markets. So here, the conditions that seller or the producer fulfill to enter into the market is also making the difference between from one market to another market. So the degree of easy with which one can enter the market or exit from the market is also determines the market structure. If it is very easy to enter and exit from the market, is comes under the one type of market. If very difficult to enter and exit from the market also is comes under another type of market. So based on the degree of conditions to fulfill to enter and exit from the market is also one of the factor which governs the market structure. And apart from this, the prices or price differentiation. So price differentiation is also one of the important factor which we need to consider to decide the market structure. So sometimes some producers or the sellers may fix the price for the same product for the different customers at the different places based on the income group, based on the geographical area, and based on the requirements. So based on all these, we may fix the different prices for the same product at different places at different customers. This is also one of the most important feature or the factor which governs the market structures. So these are some of the factors that governing the market structure or that governs the type of market or the form of market. What are they? The degree of sellers concentration, degree of buyers concentration, degree of product differentiation, conditions for entry and exit from the market, and the differentiation, price differentiation, and sometimes the transportation cost also. Transportation cost. Transportation cost is also one of the important factor which governs the market structure, right? Here, perfect knowledge is also one of the factor which governs the market structure. Yes, here there is no hide in terms of information about the markets. Such markets will provide the perfect knowledge about the price, about the quality of the product, about the quantity of the product, about the features of product, about the prices of other products. Everything will be disclosed. Everything will be disclosed. Such markets will provide the perfect knowledge. So this is also one of the important factor that governs the market structures. They are the different factors governing the market structure to decide whether it is a perfect competition market or imperfect competition market or monopoly competition market. So in the next class we will discuss different types of structures. So all those structures, market structures, are classified on the basis of all these or any one of these or some of these factors only. Okay, thank you.